Hey friends, I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about the new Beatles song, Now and Then. It sounds crazy to even say that there's a new Beatles song, but I went to listen to it yesterday for the first time. It was posted as a YouTube video 10 hours earlier, and there were already 5 million views. 5 million views in 10 hours is just amazing. I had heard it was crashing on Spotify, where there were too many people trying to listen to it at once. All these years later, man, people still love the Beatles. I went ahead and started to play the video, and before I did, I tried to clear my mind of all the baggage that I bring to the table. I have a lot of baggage about it. There's some cynicism on my part of like, oh gosh, they're rehashing this thing. You know, I'm thinking about the music industry and its need to always come out with new things and growth, you know, just for the sake of growth. What's the Edward Abbey line? Growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of the cancer cell. But I tried to just get all of that out of my head and thought, man, you're lucky enough to hear a new song by those four people. Just take that opportunity and listen to it. So I went ahead and pressed play and kind of closed my eyes, and I thought, man, all right, it's in a minor key. That's cool. That's cool. And I was listening, and the truth is the first thing that really jumped out at me was the drums. It was like, man, that sounds just like Ringo. And I'm assuming it is Ringo. If it's some kind of a session player or some kind of fancy computer trickery, it did a good job. But that's the first thing that jumped out. I was like, man, that is Ringo. And I love that. I'm sitting back and just kind of listening and trying to get lost in it a little bit, or allow myself to get lost in it if I can. I start noticing Paul's voice against John's voice. And it's like 80-year-old Paul, and John is almost 40, maybe 40. It's a really weird thing to hear them singing together, and it's a little bit spooky, and not in a bad way, but it was really interesting to me to hear those two voices together after all of these years. And I liked the song. I didn't love it, didn't think it was great, didn't think it was terrible. I was just really happy to hear a new Beatles song. And I'm listening, and the solo comes up, and it's in the style of George Harrison. I don't think that's George Harrison playing that. That sounds like someone else. I think that I heard somebody say a few days ago that Paul played that. I don't know. Maybe you guys know that and you could tell me down below. The song came from a demo in the late 70s. This was around the time he was writing Watching the Wheels, Go Round and Round, and Woman, which are masterpieces. I absolutely love. It came from that era. And he made a demo of this, and the demo had the piano overpowered the vocal, and there was a big hum on the recording. They wanted to do something with this when they were messing with Real Love and Free as a Bird, but I guess the technology wasn't there. Well, now we live in the day and age of AI. And somehow they're able to extract John's vocal from that recording that's overpowered by a piano, remove the piano, remove the hum, and all of that, and then start building this track on top of that, which is amazing. It really is. So just a really quick thoughts about the technology used to make this possible. I know a tiny bit about it, just a tiny bit. I'm a steam-powered musician. New tech has come around and become obsolete 3 or 4 times, to pass up where I'm at. But because of doing this channel, like, I'll interview people, and sometimes the reverb in the background is just terrible from the room. And I've looked for solutions, and there's some kind of an AI thing. I won't say the product, but I used it to try to remove this on one particular interview that was really bad. And after it does its thing, the room is completely dry. And the voice sounds a little bit weird, a little bit. And maybe it's because I knew something was up, but like 99% of that recording is that person's voice. But then when it comes around to me talking, somehow the AI changed my voice into that person's voice, since it's the dominant voice in that whole thing. So everything you're hearing is a computer at that point. which is really weird. It's a convincing computer. This is free technology that I tried out for that. I ended up not using it because it was all just a little bit strange. I later bought some stuff that will remove background noises and and keep the actual voice of the person speaking in the room, which it's not replacing it with a computer. But the fact that I can do this, and I'm just some jackass that doesn't know anything about anything, the fact that I can do this, I can only imagine what people that work on Paul McCartney records are able to do. The technology is amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. We can argue whether it's good or bad. I think it's both, to very severe extremes, on each side. And it just depends on what you're using it for and all of that. But that would be an interesting conversation that I hope to have with somebody much smarter than myself about the technology to make this possible. But man, I really, really am happy that there's a new Beatles track out there. I enjoyed it. I dug it. I didn't love it. It's not the worst Beatles song I ever heard. If it is a Beatles song, I guess I should ask you, is it a Beatles song to you? It's those four people on it. That matters to me in some way, but and what do you think about it? And I'm going to go ahead and put a video up here talking about when that Beatles movie, Get Back, came out. I kind of lost my mind over it and ran my mouth about it for a little bit. I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, I'll see you somewhere down the road. Much love to you.